Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Diablo 2 Let's Play. Diablo 2 Resurrected Let's Play, that should be. We're gonna pick up where we left off last night. Or actually, 2 nights ago. And we are going to grab Dan Zeal here, as you can remember. Level 3 Assassin. And we had just completed the Den of Evil, so let's take a look at what we have. And go ahead and push through. Keep working our way through normal difficulty here. So one of the things about this game is that all the magical items that you find, you need to identify. So that's what I was doing there. I was casting Scrolls of Identify, which is basically, it's like a identification spell that you cast. And you can buy more. Oh, here we go. So, on the last stream, it sounded like the NPC dialogue was not coming through. I don't know why that is. I wish that there was a way that I could change that. I looked at the settings, and there was nothing obviously, like, off about it. So I think it's just a matter of having the microphone hooked up does that. What I may have to start doing is just playing with the microphone off and then like going back and recording voiceover or something like that later. But for now, we're just going to go ahead with this and basically you know, just play through and you know, as if y'all can hear the dialogue of the NPCs. It's not, you know, it's not like the world's most amazing dialogue or anything like that, but it is. You know, the voice acting in Blizzard games is usually pretty good. So I'm just going to sell these things to get some gold. You know, this is definitely better armor than I'm currently wearing. 1 to life, 5 to mana, light radius, that kind of stuff. But it's nothing like amazing, and it's more valuable to sell it and get the money for it, because what I want to do is I want to buy one of these, a Tome of Town Portal, and one of these, a Tome of Identify. And that is going to allow us to just carry Scrolls of Town Portal around with us and Scrolls of Identification around with us in here, rather than carrying all of these little scrolls individually. So, we actually might want to keep that Choking Gas Potion, although we are going to have Firebomb and that, or, you know, the Fire Blast skill, and that is going to be better. But I do want to pick up some of these stamina potions. Stamina potions are really important early on, because you just run out of stamina so quickly you're running around. Now, the other nice thing, I know Kasia wants to talk to me here, so here, I'll talk to her real quick. Okay, got it. She means business. Okay, so she wants us to go to, what is this? So we've completed the Den of Evil, and now we're going to go to the Sisters' Burial Grounds and look for Bloodraven there. This is a quest that, it's actually pretty challenging at this level. I recommend just skipping it for now and going on to the next quest. just because early on, Blood Raven's actually fairly difficult, and there's some other things that we can do in the meantime that will make our leveling and everything else a little quicker. Don't worry, we will go back and do it. But one of the things that happened here was from the Den of Evil, Akara gave us training in the skill of our choice, which means that we can pick up another skill over here. So I could put another one into Fire Blast, but what I'm actually going to do is pick up Claw Mastery, because I'm going to want to get Burst of Speed as soon as I hit level 6. It'll just help us move around faster. Actually will help us throw our Fire Bombs faster too, because it increases attack speed, which you might think is a spell, and you'd be correct, but the Assassin works a little differently with spells, where their casting animation is based on their attack speed. So, or it's based on her attack speed. So I'll probably talk a little bit more about how all that stuff works, but Burst of Speed is a really nice, you know, 1-point wonder skill that we're definitely going to want to pick up. So for now, we'll just pick up Claw Mastery, because we need it anyway. You can see this arrow means that it's required in order to get Burst of Speed. We may eventually go to Fade as well, but we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in this tree. We're going to just get a couple of these skills, and then, like I said, the bulk of our points are going to go in traps. So, we're going to use our waypoint that we got last time to go to the Cold Plains. The other thing that Akara gave us, which is not obvious, it's not in the quest text, because it was something that was added later. See, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to gather these guys up a little bit. These darn shaman. I didn't really want to get those bolts, but that's fine. Alright. So with the Fire Blast, you just kind of want to gather guys up and then throw your fire bombs at them. And I think we're going to want to go this way. And the first time I played through the game, I did what most people do, where, you know, you go through and you literally kill every single monster. But you don't have to do that. There's no reason to do that. It will just, the monsters will literally just respawn. And one thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to change the skill for. You also have, I didn't point this out last time, but these are the 3 main skill trees: Martial Arts, Shadow Disciplines, and Traps. You also have this other tab for general skills, and this is where you can put in things like throw if you have an equipped item, or run toggle to, you know, toggle your walking and running, or show the tooltips, or auto map, or all of that kind of stuff. These things are all, you know, you can bind these things to your to different buttons. I'm going to put the attack on my right trigger because I'm just used to having it there. So that's what I'm going to do. Just kill the shaman that way. Once a bunch of these guys end up following us, we can just cast a fire bomb or two and here, just get them all. So you see we leveled up again. And where is this going to go? This goes to the Stony Field. That's great. That's the next level that we kind of want to get to. So let's get up to the Stony Field. Oh, there's a ton of people over here. We don't really need to fight all this. So there's another waypoint in the Stony Field. I want to make sure that we pick that up. Anyway, I was talking about the Den of Evil quest that we did, and how the quest tooltip doesn't tell you this, but it also allows you to respec your character. And that wasn't always in the game. That was something that they added, I don't even know when they added it. It was after, I mean, it was actually a fair bit of time after I first started playing. Because, and over here is this guy in blue here is Rakanishu. He's lightning enchanted. He's one of the more difficult kind of early guys that you run into. But he's also, he actually he gives a lot of experience when you kill him. So he is not a bad place if you are interested in kind of farming and getting some more experience and stuff. He is a great place to just kill him a handful of times. Like, you can kill him, save and exit your game, come back and kill him again. And you can do that for quite a while. Looks like something, one of my pieces of gear just broke. Yep, looks like it was my sash. Well, that's fine, because we can just put this one on instead. I'm going to throw the stamina potions up there and then just refill my belts. Don't need these bolts. Okay, and then I'm going to start working on strength here, because I will need some strength. Strength is obviously mostly important for melee characters, but it's also important for wearing gear, right? So this armor, you can see leather armor has a required strength of 15. Obviously, we have this, but other armors or, you know, like boots or gloves, not gloves so much, but you know, bucklers, weapons, those things, they have strength and dexterity requirements. And so you want to make sure that as you go through the game, you don't lose sight of the fact that you do still need to have strength, even if you are like a sorceress, for example, who's not ever really going to swing weapon. And here is the underground passage, so I'm going to cast another town portal here, and we are just going to continue on and hopefully find the waypoint for the Stony Field. Stony Field is a good waypoint that you're definitely going to want going forward. Not every level has a waypoint in it. I've played the game enough to know pretty much. I mean, I don't know if I know every one, but I know which ones, especially the ones that are important to get. And Stonyfield is one of those. We're gonna want to be able to come back here without too much difficulty. So that's all we're doing here, is just, if we see a pack of monsters, we'll kill them. But otherwise, we're really just looking for that Stonyfield waypoint. And again, we run out of stamina there, so we take a stamina potion. Stamina potions are nice. They don't just refill your stamina, they also give you like infinite stamina for a little bit of time. That's another thing that the game did not used to do. It used to literally just refill your stamina to full, and nothing beyond that. They changed that in one of the patches that came in. This game's been, it's been around for a long time, so obviously it's been patched numerous times. And the Diablo 2 Resurrected version is basically the same as Diablo in the latest patch version. There we are, we've leveled up again already. So we're just cruising right along here, already up to, what is this, level 5 or 6? I can't remember. Oh, the waypoint was literally right here. So we'll take this opportunity to go back. And again, we'll just kind of trade some stuff. And I know we've got another experience shrine active right now, and it would make sense to do that, but this is a short bow. We don't need short bows. We really, there's a lot of weapons, a lot of items in the game that we're just not going to care about at all. I'm going to go ahead and just throw these chipped gems in our stash, because we will need those eventually. And actually, I'm going to go buy more mana potions, because Fire Blast is really the primary way that we're going to be killing things, and it costs a lot of mana. while I'm talking about things that didn't used to be in the game, and we'll just go back to Vitality again here. You used to not be able to buy mana potions from vendors. They were, we're obviously not level 6 yet because Burst of Speed would be available, but because we're not, we're just going to keep pumping Fire Blast for now. Yeah, you used to not be able to buy mana potions. You'd have to find them. And I can remember asking one of my friends, the person who got me the original version of the first person who gave me Diablo to play. Oh shoot, you know, I forgot that I cast a town portal for this. The first person who got me into Diablo, I just assumed he knew everything about the game, and I said, yeah, where can I buy mana potions? He's like, surely there's a vendor in-game that'll sell them to you. And he kept telling me different people to go check, but none of them did, because they used to not do it. And somewhere along the way they realized that was kind of stupid, because you could buy all the other potions, like health potions, obviously, and stamina potions, things like that, but not mana potions. And certainly, if you are a speedrunner, looks like we've got a boss up here. Anytime you see like auras, and those are the the red lines around the bottom, different auras look differently. That one is the Blessed Aim aura. And that one appears like kind of a red dashed line around the base of the monster. There are also positive auras. There's also like friendly auras that you can get. So Blessed Aim is actually a paladin skill, and if you have a paladin in your party with that aura, they will give that buff to you and anybody else who's any other heroes that are playing with you. Obviously, this is solo self-found, so that won't be something we need to worry about. But Diablo is also a really good game to play in a party because you know, you can mix different buffs together, and definitely makes the game a little bit easier. Kind of went down a dead end here again. Out of stamina, so we'll just take a stamina potion and keep on trucking. And this is the underground passage. I probably should have gone ahead and talked to Akara. This wolf head actually might be valuable because let's put this in here too. Because a lot of times this is a druid specific weapon. So you can see that it has 2 sockets, and it has +1 to lycanthropy and +1 to werewolf. So if you were a werewolf druid, this would actually be a really nice helmet to find really early in the game. And especially because it's 2-socketed, so you could put a really nice rune word in here that would give you more skills. This is kind of a cool helmet to find, and this will be worth some money back in town because it has things that add skills to it. So this will probably be worth the maximum amount of gold at this point, which is going to be 5,000 gold. This is a short staff that just has 1 socket in it. That's basically useless. But short staffs will sometimes have sorceress skills on them or things like that. Those misshapen used to just terrify the crap out of me. I mean, they still do. They are some ugly, ugly dudes. And they are just kind of creepy the way they walk around and their faces. Ugh. Still have like nightmares about those guys. Anyway, I don't think we have it in our quests yet, so we will have to talk to Akara and figure out why we're going through the underground passage here. Right now we're just going here because it's on the way. It's on the road. But needless to say, this is not where Blood Raven is. As I said, we will go back and kill Blood Raven. As you see, this is these guys are part of a little mini boss group. So the way the game does monsters is there's some monsters that are just in the game, just scattered throughout, but every once in a while you will run into a boss group. You see how this guy says minion? It says demon minion underneath the name Misshapen. And that means that, of course, he's a demon, but he happens to be a minion of that, like, the guy who was kind of blue-colored. Actually, I'm kind of standing on top of him here. I'll turn the map off so you can see. But this Misshapen who was blue, he was the boss. But whenever you have a boss like this, these are like little mini-bosses that you find as you go through the game, whatever little minion pack they have with them, whatever little group of guys they have with them that are the same, they will be minions, and they will get the same kind of little buff that he had. So he was lightning enchanted, which meant that whenever I hit him, he himself would spit out additional lightning bolts, but any damage that he did would also do additional lightning damage. So I'm just going to take one of these so we can pick up this extra bit of gear here. So that means that his minions would also... I'm going to identify this because it's probably better than whatever cap I have. Yeah. This is just a low quality cap, and we don't need this anymore. So anyway, as I was saying, whenever you kill whenever you run into a boss that has minions, the boss will, the minions will also get some of those effects. And they also all give additional experience. So you kill the boss and the minions associated with the boss give like 2 or 3 times the experience of a normal monster. So we leveled up again, and I'm just going to keep pumping vitality for now, mostly to get that stamina up. Also, it also increases our life, so that's also good. And of course, now we're level 6, so we can grab Burst of Speed. And we're going to bind this to, let's go right bumper, and now we can cast this thing, and we can go run so much faster now. And it's also going to increase our attack speed, so this is just a fantastic skill. And it looks like this was not the way to go, so... And speed is really important for a couple reasons. Number one, of course, it allows you to... Diablo has a lot about positioning, right? Like moving your character around and being able to dodge attacks and line up your own attacks and stuff like that. Certainly speed is really important that way. It also increases your DPS in the sense of it allows you to attack faster, right? So that's also really good. And the other thing is that, especially early on, speed is important because the faster you can get where you're going, the less time it takes you to get there, meaning less stamina that you use overall. What's this scepter? Could actually be kind of good. We're going to use that out. Alright, let's see what this scepter is. First of all, let's check out this charm. So as you go through the game, you'll find a charm is another thing, and you keep this in your inventory. I'm just going to identify it right away. Oh, cold resist, plus 7%. That's a really nice charm to find early on. So another important element of this game are resistances. I haven't really talked about that. I actually haven't talked about the character screen at all, so let's just go for a minute and talk about what this all is. As you can see, we're level 6. We've got 25 strength. That will mean that our physical attacks that we do, melee attacks, will do more damage the more strength we have. Dexterity affects your chance to hit when you're attacking things, so strength is going to have an impact on your attack damage. Dexterity is going to have an impact on your attack rating. This is how often you can hit enemies. In this case, you can see that we've got a pretty high chance to hit based on our attack rating. That's because the monsters we're fighting are still really low level, so this is going to be high for basically the whole time that we're going through normal difficulty. Unless we get really far ahead of ourselves, but I don't think that's going to happen. Dexterity also affects your defense, right? It makes it harder for enemies to hit you. This is going to be in conjunction with your defense rating, which is based on all of the armor that you're wearing. This number doesn't matter a whole lot, to be honest, and you'll see. You'll see that as we go through the game that it's more about your own mobility and the ability that you have to get out of the way of attacks, like by just moving your character, than it is about standing in and letting some big boss just hit you and, you know, having the game mechanics make you dodge or miss attacks. It doesn't really work that way, because bosses who can hit you for a lot of damage generally don't miss almost no matter how high your defense is. Okay. Vitality, this is how much life and stamina you have. Already talked about that. Life is incredibly important in this game. When in doubt, put points in vitality. Energy affects basically just how much mana you have. So that's how much mana you have to cast spells. It's not a horrible idea to add mana or add energy points early on in the game to your character, just because that gives you more mana to cast spells, because as you can see early on, I'll just go over here to our Fire Blast here. Each time we cast this, it's 3.3 mana. And we only have 32 mana, so I mean that's like not even 10 times that we can throw a firebomb, and you know, then we're out of mana. That's why we have all these mana potions, so we can just chug them as we need to, going through. So that's it's not a horrible idea to have have extra energy early on. But most builds in this game, I would say, because you also get mana every time you level up. You get more life, you get more mana every level up that you get, depending on what class you are. Sorcerers get the most for life. I think it's barbarians, maybe Amazons get the most every time they level up. So generally speaking, most people leave their energy alone for like true end game builds, because by the time you're level like 80, 70 or 80, there's 99 levels. And of course it's an exponential kind of sliding scale as you work your way up and up. The difference from getting level 99 to level 98 to 99 is like the same as getting levels 1 to 96 or 97 or something. It's crazy. It's a huge accomplishment to get all the way to level 99. I've never actually done it. Anyway, as I was saying, you know, by the time you get that high, you know, level 80 or something, you've gotten so much mana just from level ups that that's probably enough. So that's why most end game builds that you see don't really add that much mana. Okay. Inventory we've talked about. Oh, the other thing I didn't mention, resistances. You have basically 4 main elements in the game that you're going to run into: fire, cold, lightning, and poison. There is also just pure magic damage. You'll see that sometimes. That's not listed as a resistance. And then of course there's also physical damage, and you don't see that as a resistance either. In the advanced stats, it actually doesn't show that either. But you can get resistances to those things from specific items, but they won't show up. These are the 4 main resistances, though, that people talk about in Diablo when somebody says, you know, what are your resistances or whatever. You've already seen monsters that do these kinds of damage. These resistances become really important as you make your way through the game, because the toughest monsters do magic damage, and magic damage is going to be what kills you probably like 95% of the time. So, this charm, which is actually, we're not even a high enough level to get the benefit of it yet, required level 10. So we can keep it in our inventory. It doesn't give the bonus because we're not level 10 yet. But once we hit level 10, it will become active, and you'll see that this cold resistance, which is now just 0, it'll up to 7%, which means that if somebody hits you for 100 cold damage, they actually only hit you for 93 cold damage because you're resisting 7% of it. Anyway, that's how that works. So, our burst of speed is worn off, so let's continue and see if we can make our way up to the Dark Wood. Okay, so we've gone all the way through the underground passage, The Dark Wood is another one of those places that has a waypoint. Obviously want to get that so we don't have to go through the Dark Wood every time. And these monsters are getting a little tougher here. But you can see we do so much damage with this Fire Blast that it really almost doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and use Town Portal. This is also, when you start the game, it's bound to left trigger and A. And I'm going to go back to the Rogue Camp and just sell some of these things. And I'm also going to talk to Akara because I think she'll tell us kind of what we're trying to do right now. No, I guess not. Repairs durability. This is technically better than what we have, but I guess I'll equip it, and then we'll sell this. This is only worth 296. I am surprised. I would have thought this would be worth a lot more, but that's fine. We're not going to use it anyway. This is a Rejuvenation Potion. Heals 35% of life and mana. The nice thing about Rejuvenation Potions is they are instantaneous. So as soon as you take it, it immediately increases. Whereas the other potions, they have to kind of fill up over time. It's like a heal or a mana regen over time. So it's a little bit different. I'm just gonna buy a couple of these so we don't run out. And a couple more of those. Hit up the burst of speed again. And head back to where we were. Now, let's check out these armors. That is a hard leather armor with 1 socket. This is a hard leather armor that's 2-socketed, which is what we are looking for. We are looking for some kind of armor that we can wear that has 2 sockets. I'll explain why as we go through this, but there's a very nice rune word that we can make at low levels. That will be a huge benefit to us. So, couple of things about items. Sometimes items will show up as just white, like this hunter's bow. Shows up as just white. This is just a plain hunter's bow, no magical abilities, nothing special about it, it's just a bow. This is, let me kill this carver here. This is hard leather armor. Now, if it didn't, there's something special about it, which is why it shows up gray, and that is this hard leather armor has 1 socket. And that's what makes it kind of special, rather than just a regular hard leather armor that doesn't have a socket. Sockets are nice because you can put gems or runes into them. We haven't found any runes yet, but we will, which are like little kind of markings on rocks that will give you some kind of benefit when you put it into an item that can carry sockets. There's also another kind of... Now, this is another thing. I'll actually drop this. I'm going to pick up a blue leather armor, and this is leather armor that has some kind of magical properties. And you can see we can't use it right now because it's unidentified, but once we cast the scroll of identify on it, we can see it gives us 7% cold resist. That's better than the leather armor we're currently wearing, which is just plain leather armor, right? And so we're going to just equip this instead. And now this is on, and now you'll see that our cold resistance has gone up to 7%. Anyway, we're just going to keep making our way through here. And there is a waypoint in this area that we want to pick up. I think I mentioned that. There's another hard leather armor. Hopefully this one has 2 sockets. This is what we really want. This is Treehead Woodfist, and he is a huge pain. He is going to kill me if I am not careful. He's very fast. see we're out of mana, or mana, as she says. There we go. Just tank him. Alright. Refill our potions. Reorganize our inventory here. Actually, I don't think I want this spiked club. Oh, it just really wants to pick that up for me, though. Let's go see what this hard leather armor is, because this is hopefully something we can definitely use. Alright. This is, nope, just one socket. Not what we need. So what we did was we found a tree that had a scroll of Inefis on it. So I'm going to pick that up. And maybe we can take that back to Akara, and she will give us some ideas of what we can maybe do with that. Why it's important. But we still are looking for that... we still are looking for that waypoint. I think we have a quest that updated here. Search for Cain. Take the scroll of Inefis to Akara. Okay, we can do that. This is a refilling shrine that'll just increase our life and mana back to full. So, you can see that a lot of our damage on this character, and eventually all of our damage, is going to come from spells or traps, which don't have any hit check on them, right? As long as the monsters walk into the area where the spell is taking place, that's a resist fire shrine. That's nice. They will take the hit. There's an amulet. Nice. That is a really nice thing to find. Hopefully, it's. I mean, early on, most of the things we find are going to be pretty. They're going to be, you know, pretty minuscule in terms of like what their benefits are. But it's still nice to find them. You could go for, you know, the first whole act and not find an amulet. See how they're all like a little bit different color and it says minion. That was a boss group, right? So. Alright, so, let's identify this amulet. Might be something we can wear. Cold resist. Wow, it's really given us a lot of cold resist early on. This is still... Let's just plain leather armor. No reason to keep holding on to that. I'll take this jawbone cap because that is a barbarian item, and it might have barbarian skills on it. And here's our waypoint. Okay, let's go back to Akara and see what she says about the Cairn Stones. Sorry, not the Cairn Stones. The Scroll of Inefis. I'm getting ahead of myself. Alright. So... when we find the Karen stones, we'll need to touch them in that order, and then we can do whatever it is we need to do. Let's check out our quest log. Go to the Karen stones in the stony field. Enter the portal to Tristram, but beware the danger that lies ahead. Okay, so we're going to go there and hopefully figure out what is happening. We'll just do another 5 in Vitality, and of course, at level 12 here, we're going to pick up Wake of Fire, but in the meantime, we're just going to keep pumping this Fire Blast. And we're going to see if this Jawbone Cap is worth any. Well, that's pretty good. Howl, Blade Mastery, Charge Bolt, sure. If you were a Barbarian, you'd be pretty happy with this, but we're not, so we can't use it. We'll sell it. And at this point, I'm just going to look in here and see if Charcy happens to sell any armor that has 2 sockets. Doesn't look like it. Charcy, sometimes, you know, vendors can sell some pretty nice items early on. It's not a bad way to just gear up a little bit. Put a skull in here because you can use that. I also don't need this. And I haven't... Gotta be level 16 before I can even use that, so we will just forget about that for now. Okay, so we have to go back to the stony field and touch the Karen stones, and then we'll go from there. Now, the reason why I kept this dagger is that this dagger is very fast attack speed, and technically the dagger is like the fastest weapon in the game. It's even faster than this Qatar. The only way you'd know this is if you look this stuff up online. There's a lot of information in this game that it's like, if you were just playing through it, you'd have no clue. You'd see very fast, and you'd see very fast, and you'd assume, totally reasonably, that they're both the same speed. But they're not. There's a difference between very fast, that's like, you know, a -10 versus very fast that's a -20 or -30 in terms of the speed of the physical speed of the weapon. And the only way to know it is to go online, look it up in a whole bunch of tables and resources that tons of people have compiled over the years on what the kind of inner working mechanics are. But because the dagger is the fastest weapon in the game, and because your ability to throw your little fire blast skill is based on your attack speed, technically using a dagger is the fastest way to throw fire bombs. And I might even be able to demonstrate it right here. Right, so with the dagger, here's how quick we throw fire bombs. It doesn't really show. I was throwing it into like a ditch. Right? And with the Qatar, we throw them this fast. It's a tiny bit slower. It might be like 1 frame difference. But technically, the dagger is the superior choice. Now, for me, I'll just keep using the Qatar. I don't mind. But okay, so look around here and see if we can find the Karen stones. Not up here. Oh, we did find a little boss, though. And you can see how much faster our... Actually, at this point, I'm really just... Oh, you know, he's a minion, though. It's pretty good that we would find... a experience shrine right where a boss group is like that. That's great. You see that Fire Blast is just doing so much damage now. Not only because the monsters in this level are lower level, but also because we've leveled it up. Pretty much one hit, those guys go down. That's a stamina shrine. That's actually really nice. I'm gonna keep using this experience shrine for now, though. Wait, did she die? No. There we go. And, ooh, what are these? Karen stones. Okay, so let's look at this. Certainly don't need those bolts. 1 is like the I, 2 is the 2, 3 is the O. So I don't know which one this is. This is 1, 2 is the 2, 3 is the O, and then 4 is the one between 1 and 3, and then this one is 5. Alright, so let's go to Tristram. Now, for anybody who doesn't know or remember, Tristram is the place where, just to stop for a quick lore break, Tristram is the place where the original Diablo was set, Diablo 1. Basically, there's a cathedral that was corrupted by Diablo, and you fought your way down the catacombs of the cathedral, which led down basically into hell, where Diablo was, and just kind of fought your way down there. And at the end of that game, you, of course, fight and kill Diablo, and that's the end. In the original game, there are 3 character classes that you could have picked from: the warrior, the rogue, or the I think it's the summoner, or maybe the wizard. I don't remember what it was called. I played Diablo 1 like once or twice. I never played through the entire game. That's something that I probably should do one of these days, but I've just played so much Diablo 2 that you know, there's so many differences between that game and this game that it's hard to sometimes go back and play an even older game, and this is already an old game. So this Tristram is the location, basically, of the original Diablo game. So it has, you know, there's a history here. So you can see the town is just completely in ruins. Who's yelling? Somebody over here. Alright, so we have rescued Deckard Cain. There's Griswold, which anybody who doesn't know that, Griswold was the blacksmith from... Can I throw things at that shaman through the wall? No. Griswold was the blacksmith in the original Diablo game. But he hits like a truck in this game. And he's cursed. Which means that anybody who hits me while I'm cursed will do additional damage. And he has just an absolute ton of life. But he dies just as easily as anybody else. Alright, so we've rescued Deckard Cain. Experience here is actually pretty good. There's usually a few champion and boss packs around. This shaman, I've just about had enough of it. I guess there's another one in there, but for now. Yeah, see, anytime you see minion, you want to look for, you want to try to kill those guys. See, he was cold enchanted, which is why he did that kind of cold nova when he died. Alright. Just refill this again. Oh, I swapped over to my dagger. I don't know why. So we've leveled up again. Alright. So we will head back and see what is going on, what Akara has to say, what everybody has to say about Deckard Cain. That's fantastic. So he has this little ability. First of all, just catching everyone up on that, the canonical hero who wins Diablo 1, basically, is the warrior person of the three classes. The warrior class person is the one who supposedly kills Diablo. And Cain is saying that the wanderer who Marius is following, who we see in the cutscene, is the warrior from Diablo 1, who is now, Cain fears, being possessed by Diablo himself, based on his ordeal. Okay, so what do we got here? We have a sash and a sash, so neither of these are really any better than what we have. I guess +1 strength is a little bit better, 3 to mana on an amulet, 17 to attack rating, 4 to life. That's probably not really any better than a cold resist. Still not getting the benefit from this charm, but we will go ahead and sell some of these items. So one other person in camp here we haven't met yet, so let's go talk to him. So he's a slimy guy, but he has the ability, you can gamble things from Geed, which is really nice. So this will be basically, you don't know what this is. You pick it as soon as it enters your inventory. It'll be identified, and then you'll get whatever the effects are, obviously, of that item. So it's an interesting way to potentially upgrade your gear by gambling things from Geed. He also just sells things, normal things, that you can buy as well. So anyway, which means, of course, you can sell things to him. I'm gonna keep that. That's a nice thing to have. And I don't know if he sells armor. No, I'm just gonna run over here and check with Charcy again to see if she sells 2-socketed armor. No. Nope. None of these are 2 sockets. However, this is a regular belt. I am gonna buy this, and the reason why is because you can see it says +8 slots. So I want to equip this because now you'll see that my belt is a little bit bigger, which frees up inventory space. And this is just a regular old sash anyway, so that is not a bad use of the money. Alright, so quest, visit Kane and Akara in the road. Okay, we still gotta go talk to Akara. She will tell us what is going on with Kane. Well, I already talked to him. Oh, this was the thing that I was talking about. This reset stat and skill points. You get that for completing the Den of Evil. There used to be no way in the game to respec your character. Basically, whatever skills you invested in to start off with, those were the skills you were stuck with for life. Which meant that you could brick a character really easily, and if that's basically what happened to the original Dan Zeal. Was I tried to do too many different things with that character, and this is a game that really, with the way that everything is balanced now, it wasn't originally, but it is now at this point in the game, you really need to have a build that synergizes together in order to make in order to be really effective when you get to the end game, you need to have a build that is efficient and doesn't have any wasted skill points or attribute points. So we are putting together a build now that will get us through normal and most of the nightmare difficulties of the game, and then we'll respec using this ability from Akara sometime in Nightmare to the Nightmare difficulty to what will basically become our end game spec. I'll get into that as we get closer to it, but if we had to go with our end game spec right now, it would basically mean that actually where we are now, we'd still be okay because you're still going to want some points in Fire Blast, but you wouldn't be able to do a whole lot more with this. You'd end up having to start doing because the final endgame build will be all down this side lightning skills as opposed to fire, because the lightning is just better when you get to higher difficulties. These two skills, Lightning Sentry and Death Sentry, they scale really well at high levels. But you can see these two skills are way down here, which means that what you used to have to do was just wait and not spend your skill points until you got to be, for example, level 24 or level 30. And so you'd kind of need someone to rush you almost just to get through the game, because you didn't have the extra points to spend on these lower level skills. So anyway, Akara also gave us a ring, which is just more gold from mana, or more gold from monsters, and more mana. So we'll equip it. It's better than nothing, but it's not anything special. And we'll buy a whole bunch more of these. And actually, now that we have Burst of Speed, we're not really needing too many stamina potions. So let's go back to the Dark Wood and see if we can just continue on our quest to find the Dark Wanderer. So we're still pretty well rolling here. Again, oop, there is a boss group. Just gonna chuck our fire bombs at these guys. Carve up these guys, and you can see we're missing now, right? When I look at our attack rating, well, we have a 90% chance to hit him. It's interesting. It feels like we're starting to miss a little bit more than we were before. But it's definitely taking more hits to kill these guys because they have more life. They're a little bit higher level. There's another boss group, or minion group, whatever you want to call it. But you can see every time we kill one of these guys, it really does give us a ton of extra experience. And because they are a relatively high level compared to us at this point, because we're not, we're not stopping to kill every single thing. We're just kind of making our way through the game. Because of that, we are we're fighting monsters who are a little bit higher level than we are. That's the Tomo Highland. I'm not ready to go in here just yet. Explain why. Eagle Orb, pick that up, can have sorceress skills on it. It does. That'll probably be worth some money, although it's ethereal, which is the other thing that... Here we go. Here is the Black Marsh waypoint. This is going to be a really important waypoint. So the thing that we're looking for now is there is a tower in the Black Marsh where this is really more of a side quest, but it's really important for new characters. And is going to eventually be important to us as we make our way through the game anyway. Ooh, superior level leather armor, that's gray. Could be what we're looking for. Actually, don't even think I'm going to keep that. Let's look at the... Nope, it's ethereal. But this hard leather armor will be worth something. Anyway, what we're looking for is a tower. And as I said, the tower is... I mean, it's not an actual tower. It's kind of a broken down tower. And there's some lore about it in the game that we haven't come across. But basically, it's, like I said, it's like a side quest of a dungeon to go through and kill the Countess. And the Countess is really important because the Countess drops... Looks like this is it. Yep, this is the tower. Countess drops runes. And runes are just really valuable in this game. Because not only do they give you special effects when you insert them into weapons or armor, but if you put them in the right order, and again, this is another thing that you would not know unless you... Oh, sorry, I forgot that we had leveled up. So let's do... we're not quite ready for the next one yet, so let's just do Fire Blast some more, and 5 more into Vitality. If you put... So... the archers down here are really strong. And she is fire enchanted, which also means she has more resistance to fire. So that's why I decided to just hit her with my stick rather than trying to throw fire bombs at her. But anyway, as I was saying, the Countess, sorry, she drops runes, and runes are super valuable because when you insert them into armor in the correct order... Hey, there it is, the hard leather armor that we were looking for. 2 sockets. I'll put that right on because we are going to want that. When you put runes into armor in the correct order, it gives you a bunch of extra benefits. And this is a really long tower level for a level 1 normal tower, but whatever. So there are 5 levels to the tower, and we are just going to continue to make our way through here and find our way down. And there is a trick for finding your way around some of these levels. It has to do with the way the game randomly generates these maps. Because the way you come in is a tile that is rotated 90 degrees from the tile that is going to be the way that you leave. That's what it is. He's another... He is another boss guy. And we leveled up again. Because those tiles are randomly generated, the orientation is the thing that is not random. So the tiles in the tower will always be rotated 90 degrees to the left from the exit tile. Sorry, it will be generated 90 degrees to the left from the tile that you go in. So basically that means that when you go in the tower, turn left out of your first, kind of at your first turn, and then follow that, and that will get you eventually to the lowest level. And that's where we are now. We are in Tower Settler level 5, and this is where the first time we go through here, we'll get a little bit of an extra bonus for killing the Countess the first time. But she will continue to give a special rune drop where no other monster in the game has this. She's the only one where she has a much higher likelihood of dropping runes than literally, and there's tons of gold down here. It's tons of gold right now. It's not tons of gold later in the game, but right now, yeah, sure, we'll take it. Anyway, she is the only character in the game who has this special rune drop, and that's why we farm her, because runes are really good. So we will continue to farm the Countess until we find 2 runes that we need for the armor that we really want to make. It's a rune word that is the runes Tal, T-A-L, and Eth. Those are the 2 runes that we're looking for from the Countess. And I'm going to spend 5 more on strength because eventually we're going to get items that require more strength. Alright, so here we go. We can fight the Countess. Now, she is tricky. The thing that makes the Countess kind of tricky is that she is very difficult to kill with fire. And we have lots of fire damage. So she dropped an L rune. She also dropped an amulet. But this is what a rune looks like. It's not a Tal rune or an Eth rune. Those are the two that we're looking for. So we will do a very Diablo thing. And we will just farm her again. How do we farm her again? Well, first thing we'll do is we will go back to town and we will talk to Cain. He will tell us how great we are for killing the Countess. Yep. He can identify the items. All right. So we will keep the Tal rune. This is actually a really nice amulet. 10% faster cast rate, 10% lightning resist, 9% fire resist. This is a really good low-level amulet, and 8 life. This is solid. There's a lot of characters who would use this. This is also a keeper for future characters because eventually we will make a sorceress, and sorceresses will care an awful lot about cast rate. So we're going to equip this right now. I'm not even going to save that amulet. It's not worth it. This is +1 to dexterity. That's not that worth it either. Sturdy boots. Maybe we will equip... No. We'll equip that. And let's see if there's anything else we need to worry about. I don't think so. Okay. Let's go up to Charcy. Okay, so she wants us to find the Herodic Malice in the Monastery, so we can probably do that. This is leather armor, which is nice, but it's not going to be anything compared to the stealth armor that we get. As a matter of fact, I'll put this on just so that you can see the difference when we get it. I will go ahead and equip these. I can sell this. Poison resistance and additional poison damage. It's not amazing, but I'll keep it for now. Cold resist, I don't want to keep this anymore. 2 to strength and poison resistance. That's a decent charm. This is our +1 to dexterity. This is really not useful. We're going to get rid of that dagger finally, and we'll keep hanging on to this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and save our armor in our stash for when we find our Tal and our Eth runes. Okay, and then what we do is, because we can't go and kill the Countess again in this game, we're going to go ahead and save and exit. And we will just create a new game. And all the monsters will respawn. But the maps, because we are offline, we're playing offline locally, the maps stay the same. So it makes, like, farming these things really a lot easier and a lot faster when you're doing offline single player. If you're doing an online version of the game, the map is different every single time you load in. But that means that the tower levels are all the same. Everything is the same. The bosses will change. The monsters will change a little bit. They won't be the exact same. And honestly, we're just going to run past these guys, because if we run across any boss groups, we'll kill them because the experience is super good, like this one here. Ooh, we're gonna get ourselves stuck. Let's not do that. He's cold enchanted, so we have to be careful. We really don't want to get hit with him because being cold, being frozen really is not fun, as you can see. But it's worth killing these guys for the additional, whatever that they give you, the additional experience. These guys are champions, and you can see champion archers are a real big pain. I almost wouldn't fight this because they do additional cold damage, and yeah, they're just, oof, they're not fun. Anyway, we got him. And just keep pushing on. A lot of these things you can see I'm just not even picking up because I don't care enough about them right now. I will check these equipment racks. Sometimes they'll drop things that are really nice. Actually, this scimitar, is it a 2-socket scimitar? It is. I might save that. Because that will be nice for a future character that we will make for a paladin someday. Just nice to have some of these things at low levels. So yeah, we kill the boss groups, kind of forget about everybody else. Pick up chests and stuff when we see them. Those guys are just demons, they're not minions. So we'll just ignore them. And now we're back to level 5. We can run into these little side rooms and just pick up the gold and stuff. Also chests and stuff down here, they can drop things from time to time, but at this point it's not. Ooh, there's some champion ghosts. You can see, you know, every time we kill these champion packs, we really get a lot of experience. So we've leveled up again. And so, just keep bumping that vitality for now. And when we get to level 12, we will open up Wake of Fire, which is the next level trap up. And that you'll see that will make a significant difference in our damage output. Not that we're doing bad damage now, we're doing great damage. But we'll do even more of that. Just like to check these chests and stuff. Every once in a while something cool will drop out of them. I may start doing 2 stacks of mana potions just because we're going through them so quickly right now. Now the Countess will never leave the room that she's in. So if you ever go in there and she's just kicking your butt, you can just run out of the room. And then you see we're just dropping all kinds of fire bombs on her, and her health is going down very, very slowly. There's a Ral rune, which is kind of nice, but not what we need. Remember, we're looking for a Tall and an Eth rune. So, what do? Save and exit, and try again. And you just do this over and over and over and over again. And this is one of the essences of this game, is just farming things, farming gear, farming stuff you need, farming for experience, and it's kind of the slot machine of Diablo that, you know, people can find, you know, a little bit addicting. I'm just gonna save this for now because It's actually a halfway decent claw. And, yeah, we'll keep it. Sturdy skull cap of self-repair, don't need that. Don't really need that. Oh, that's right, that's the scimitar we were going to save. I am going to just put these in here. And I haven't done anything, I haven't demonstrated what we do with the throwing potions yet. So maybe I'll do that on this next way down. Save this guy. This is a Ral rune. It's one of the highest level. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. That's usually a higher level rune. And now you can see we're getting the benefits of this because we've reached level 10. I'm just going to move these over. And I think we might be at the point where we're about ready to just stop carrying around the stamina potions because we're just not needing them anymore. Did we level up? We did, but we already got it. So just do the same thing. Run down, find the tower, see what she drops us this time. Alright. Don't even want to waste my time with these ghosts. Or those carvers. Or those devilkin, whatever they're called. Sometimes they're called carvers. Sometimes they're called devilkin. Not to be confused with Dovahkiin from Skyrim. I'm not sure why I came, so I meant to turn. And here you see we've got another minion group. I just want to keep picking up those mana potions because those are the things we're going through like candy. Oop. One of these days, those archers are definitely going to kill us. They are tough. Haven't covered death in this game, but we're not a hardcore character, so death is not permanent. If you die, you basically have two options. You can go and try to recover your body, which will have all of your gear and items and a percentage of the experience that you lost. When you die, you lose experience. Actually, on normal difficulty, you don't lose any experience when you die. Just have to go and recover your body. You also lose some amount of the gold that you're carrying. Like a percentage of it. But if you recover your body, you get all your items back, and you can get, I don't think you get all the gold back, but you get some of the gold back. What was I saying? Yeah, you get some of the gold back. It's mostly an inconvenience in this game when you die. The worst part usually is the fact that, you don't have a town portal or a way to get back to where you died very easily, so you have kind of a long run, and a lot of times where you died you'll be surrounded by monsters, and so you can end up dying again, and it just gets really annoying. So what you can also do is you can just save and quit the game, and when you come back into the game, your corpse will be like right in town where you last were. Actually, this is what I should be doing, is I should be using some Nephru. Don't need that either. One nice thing about this, though, is that, you know, she does drop things that are relatively valuable, especially at low level. Now, this is going to be ethereal, so it probably won't be worth very much. Ethereal items, I'll just talk about this real quick. Ethereal items are items that, here, I'll just identify it. They can't be repaired, right? So when a monster hits you, or especially when you die, you lose durability on your items. Every item's got a certain amount of durability on it. You can see this Stormjack Hard Leather Armor has 28 of 28 durability. Every time I take a hit, there's a chance for it to lose durability. When I die, you definitely lose durability on your items. Same thing with weapons. Every time you swing with a weapon, this has got 35 of 48 durability. Every time you hit something with a weapon, you have a chance to lose durability on your items. That's why when you go to town, you go to like a blacksmith, like Charcy, for example. She can repair your items, and she will restore the durability to full. On an item like this, an ethereal item, it has durability 18 of 18 right now. But as it gets hit, as it loses durability, you cannot repair it, right? It's like not totally present in this mortal plane. It's like a, you know, it's like a phantom of an item sort of thing. The thing that's cool about that is that ethereal items have higher defense and higher damage than non-ethereal items. But, again, they can't be repaired except in very, very rare extreme circumstances, like if it has a specific mod that self-repairs, or if you find a Zod rune, which is the highest level rune in the entire game, that makes an item indestructible if you put it into an item. So it's not impossible, but it's so rare that it might as well be impossible. Anyway. We killed the Countess for the now third time. She still has not dropped any of the runes that we need. So we'll keep doing it. How do you know what the runes are that we need? Well, you go online and you look up all of the rune words in Diablo. There were no runes, so we'll sell this. We don't need this. 1 to dexterity. I guess that's marginally better than the gloves we had, but not really. This is poison damage. Doesn't this also do poison damage? Yeah, that does poison damage, so we don't really need this one. We're already doing some poison damage. Poison damage is good because it prevents monsters from healing, but poison damage, like, on hit is very rarely, like, super beneficial. Just gonna go buy some. Oh, actually, we want to level up real quick. Put 5 more into strength, and then we're gonna put some more into dexterity, actually, because we are gonna need dexterity for a few things along the way. Although now that I think about it, by the time we get those levels, we're gonna start using Wake of Fire, and that's going to be the primary way that we kill stuff. So, yeah, probably don't need that dexterity at all. Oh, real quick, let's pop over and do this for these strangling gas potions. Basically, these cause poison damage when you throw them. So, I want to go to my skill tree, and I want to bind this to, let's just make it X, I guess. And now, when I run out here, you can't do it in town, but when you go into the wilderness, you can see that it throws this little gas thing. I have 20 out of 25, and at low levels, those gas potions are actually really good. So, we can use that to kill the Countess, because she's very resistant to our fire bombs. Oh, there's a boss group here that's coming. You can see we're throwing some of our poison in there too. Actually does quite a bit of damage early on. That's probably all we need to do for now. Oh, there's another dude. You can see as long as they're green, then they continue to take poison damage. This guy's fire enchanted, so that's why he wasn't taking that much damage from the fire bombs that we were throwing. But again, you see, we did just level up before we quit last time, and we're already a third of the way up to our next level. So the levels come pretty quick, especially while we're doing these tower runs. Because the tower is, I forget what the level the monsters are in here. They're still probably higher level than us at this point. Oh god, holy freeze. Got her. Holy freeze is probably one of the most annoying auras to run into because it slows you down dramatically. Yep, don't care. Blocking my way. I have no choice. I gotta kill him. Those ghosts have a higher chance to drop mana potions because every hit they drain some mana. So the game had given them, like the developers gave them a slightly higher chance to drop mana potions. They also, interestingly enough, have a slightly higher chance to drop runes, but nothing at all like the Countess. So some players will just come and farm on higher difficulty settings, ghosts, wherever they spawn, because if you do it enough, it can make a difference in terms of your ability to, you know, find some rune that you're looking for. The highest level games in the highest level runes in the game do not have an increased drop chance from the Countess. She's got the same chance to drop that as anybody else. But on every difficulty, she has a series of runes that are part of her rune drop. Now see how much faster she died. So this is a tier rune. Again, still no Tal rune, still no Eth rune. We'll do a few more of these runs, and then we'll probably call it for the night. I don't even know how long we've been going here. Oh, we used a lot of healing potions that run. So nice thing now, of course, we can just talk to Cain. He'll identify our items, so we don't have to use any scrolls. I don't think there's anything I want to save in here other than just the one tier rune. We may need it. And then we can sell this extra stuff to Charcy. Just make a little bit of extra cash. That's all fine. Just check and see if she's got any boots or anything that are good. We do have, what do we have? Enhanced defense, so really nothing on our boots right now. Okay. What would be really nice is if we could find something that had a little bit of increased chance of finding magic items. So while I'm doing this run, I'll talk a little bit of how the itemization and finding gear works in this game. Basically, every time a monster drops something, it drops some base. So it could drop just plain old leather armor, or it could drop leather armor, it could drop gloves, it could drop you know, a bow, whatever it is. A guitar, an assassin weapon. She's a minion, so let's kill these guys. There, we leveled up again. Could drop a hunter's bow, for example, right? So that's the first part of the item drop, is what item is it that drops? What's the base item? Then it rolls to see, the game will do like an internal check to see, based on a, you know, based on a chance, whether that item is a magical item, or a rare item, or a set item. We haven't seen any of those yet, but set items. So rare items are yellow, magical items are blue, plain items are white. Magical items are blue, rare items are yellow. So that set of armor that we have, or that claw that we picked up, those are what's known as a rare item. Rare is better than magic. Or a set item. A set item is pretty comparable to rare items, although they tend to work better if you have multiple items of the same set, obviously. And then the best type of item, the highest sort of quality of the item, it would be a unique item. So most items, most base items, have some kind of unique version of them, right? So there is a unique hard leather armor. I don't remember what it's called. It's not super common because very few people are doing a lot of magic finding at low levels. But there is a unique version of it. And so the game can, instead of giving you just a plain leather armor or a magic leather armor, it can give you the unique leather armor, which is going to have a ton of additional perks. And sometimes we'll have something that is really specific to just that item. It's the only item, you know, in the game that perhaps gives that particular benefit. And uniques are generally the things you're looking for when you're farming. However, runes are the other thing that you can look for when you're farming. But the thing with runes is that there's no way to increase the chances of a particular rune dropping other than by killing the Countess for only the specific runes that she drops at each difficulty setting. So if you want the highest level rune in the game, like a Zod rune, first of all, you're crazy. If you want one, you're not going to find one. It's extremely rare. I've never found one. The only way to find a Zod rune is to just kill so many freaking monsters. Just let poison do the work. We got 2 more Ral runes and a Neff rune, which is just silly. Ral runes are not that common, but for whatever reason, we keep finding them. Alright, so now we have Wake of Fire. So I'm going to bind this to, actually, this is going to be my X. This is going to be my B. And we'll make throw a Y. That's fine. And 5 more stat points. So we will, I will do one more run here just to show you what Wake of Fire looks like and why it's such a cool spell. And then we'll call it. But anyway, unique items are generally the items that people are looking for. And you can increase your chances of getting unique items, or rare items, or even blue magic items by finding gear or equipment that increases your chance of finding magic items. It's an actual property that is on the equipment. So instead of being like poison resist and repairs durability, it would be increased chance of finding magic items. And so of course when you're farming, and even while you're just playing through the game, those things can be really beneficial to have because you will find more magic items, which then makes your character more powerful, and everybody wins. So that's that cold resistance. This is a jewel. Jewel is another thing that can be inserted into weapons and armor instead of just runes and gems. So I'm gonna get rid of some of these stamina potions because I do not really need them anymore. I haven't used one in quite a while. We'll just take another look here and see if she has more defense. More defense. Yeah, no, nothing we need. It's kind of crazy how many Ral runes and Nef runes I've found. And we're starting to build up a pretty good amount of gold right now, so that's good. It's another benefit of doing these runs. Back to the Black Marsh, back to the Countess. All these runes are valuable, even though, you know, we don't have the ones we need yet. They are... Alright, watch this Wake of Fire. That's our new skill. So that's an AoE. And this will be the skill that we will use all the way through the rest of this difficulty level, or the rest of this difficulty setting, and through Nightmare, most of Nightmare. So what do I mean when I say difficulty setting? Oh, these guys are minions. Well, you actually, when you play this game, you play through it 3 times. There's normal difficulty, which is what we're playing through right now. Once you beat normal difficulty, you play the exact same game, except the monsters are harder, they're higher level, and they drop better loot. So of course, you want to play through that. And then... yeah, Wake of Fire is awesome. Pick up these leather gloves, they could be good. Nope, that's a hand axe. So some people just play through the game on normal, and they never bother getting to Hell difficulty and playing through that. But it's worth the challenge. Hell difficulty is rewarding in the sense that it is quite difficult for, especially if you're new to the game. The first time you go through it, you're just like, oh my god, how do you do some of these things? There are game mechanics that I never had to worry about before that now suddenly have completely messed up everything that I was doing. One more minute here, right? We'll just throw fire bombs at him. So, like I said, it's worth doing just to have that experience. And also, obviously, all the best gear comes there. So if you are playing the game and trying to get the best character, you know, you gotta do Hell difficulty. That's where a lot of people would say, you know, oh, that's where the real game begins, right? As long as we can stay stocked up on mana potions, we are totally fine. With Wake of Fire, it will just wreck everything. That's another thing that's really nice about the assassin, or a reason why it's nice to play a traps assassin, is because these traps allow you to just kind of stay out of the fight. You throw the traps down, watch this, we'll just throw a couple traps here. They'll kill most of the monsters in there. It might even kill the Countess. because they're so powerful. But we'll just hack her down. More Ral runes! Holy cow, we've got like 5 Ral runes now. Alright, well I think that's the game's way of saying that it's just not going to give us our Tal and Eth runes right now. So, I mean, the Ral runes are valuable. I'm not upset about it, but it's just like, wow. I've never got that many Ral runes out of, like, what was that, 6 or 7 Countess runs? So we'll just do our Vitality again, go over to our skill tree. We'll do another level of Wake of Fire. Before I get into that, I just want to show you the way the skills work. Is most of the skills have synergies. So you see, this is Wake of Fire, shoots 5 times. Fire damage 9 to 19. At the next level, it'll do 13 to 22 fire damage. But it receives a bonus from Fire Blast. So 10% of the damage, it gets an additional 10% boost for every level that we put into Fire Blast and Wake of Inferno. Fire Blast is our little fire bombs that we're throwing. So the fact that we put 9 points into this, it's not for nothing. That's an additional, because each one of those is 10%, that's an additional 90% damage that we're doing. Without that, we wouldn't be doing additional damage on these skills, right? The fire damage would probably be like 5 to 10 or something, but instead it's 9 to 19 because we're doing plus 90% damage from the Fire Blast. So that's why it's not a bad idea. You know, we're okay that we spent all of these points here because they're going to benefit this one. Once we max both of these, if we get that far, Wake of Inferno is the other one that will benefit Wake of Fire, and it will do even more damage. Wake of Inferno is technically the highest level fire trap spell, but the mechanics of it are such that it's a little bit harder to use. Wake of Fire is nice because it covers such a large area and it kills so many things. It sweeps out basically the whole screen as it goes. So this is the best trap for fire traps. So we get our second rank of that, and when we come back next time, we'll just continue to farm the Countess. Hopefully she'll be a little less stingy with the Tal and Eth rune that we're looking for. See you next time.